So, good evening. So, as usual, I'm going to be recollecting what I learned in class for American philosophy. This is week 6. So, we did racism in American thought. So, America was rich with gold and they enslaved the native people and got rid of the Spanish. However, the Indians did not take well to slavery. They eventually died, and the ones who escaped, they escaped to unknown places. Tobacco was also discovered and it was used to make a profit. Tobacco and cotton, especially. So, so the natives, they were punished badly for crimes, and most of them did not survive. They could not handle the intense work to grow the crops. So, in 1676, there was a social upheaval. Africans were being brought in from Africa to fill in the labor gaps. So 400 Africans were brought in, which was compared to the 6,700 Europeans. They were separated from their descendants, and permanent slavery was being introduced. So they weren't used as indentured laborers or anything. So the Europeans, they also believed that the Africans were accustomed to the discipline, that the Africans would more readily listen to them. And the Africans knew how to grow tobacco, corn, and sugar cane. They knew how to do carpentry, and they knew how to do a lot of other things which the Europeans found useful. In a little after, like a century, the following century, the colony of Georgia had issued a law, or was issuing a law, this anti-slavery policy, and they also settled poor people from Europe to US. It was the first non-slave holding policy. However, before all of that, there was a petition to allow slaves. They could not survive without Africans. They wanted to homogenize all Europeans regardless of ethnicity or social class. That was the first time they used the term white in 1691 to classify all individuals of the white race, despite where they come from, despite their social class, etc. They were also prohibiting marriage among the Africans. The Europeans had opportunity to move up the social ladder. There was an easy social stratification. They could use different physical appearances to divide blacks and whites. There were many privileges to whites. Black Americans had poorer neighborhoods. The stereotypes of race were inhabited in the 19th and 20th centuries. There were the exaggerated human differences. The Negroes had black brains and black blood. So basically, well, before I touched the topic of slavery, I spoke about the Constitution and how the Constitution and was influenced by the Declaration of Human Rights, and was influenced by the humanitarian revolution, the French Revolution, and so on. So this obviously would be before all of those revolutions being acted upon. So obviously, when the humanitarian revolutions and when everything this and when human rights were being noticed, that was when America finally got rid of like any form of inequality. Well, of course we know that there is inequality even up to this day, but like that harsh inequality like slavery. And this concludes what we discussed for week 6 of American philosophy.